Hey, good
Oh,
day, everybody. Minor Ramos here with Matters of Eternity. I am really excited today because I have a guest with me. I'd like you all to meet one of Kayla's uncles, Eddie Ramos. Say hello, Eddie.
hello, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Now, for the coffee of the day, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually showcase Eddie's business because yeah, let's get a little bit of a coffee alternative, but he has an amazing story, and actually, there's a lot that we can uncover about Eddie's relationship to Kayla, and so let's get right to it. Let's go in and show the coffee of the day. So this is the first time that I actually get a chance to do an on-site review of a business. So we have the owner of On Point Nutrition, and they're in Carroll Stream. I'll put a link in the description. And if you're in the western suburbs area of Chicago, make sure you stop by. And Eddie, since you're the very first one that I have as a guest on demand. Anything about your business? Just tell everybody really quickly, 30 seconds about your business.
Sure, yeah. So my wife and I are the owners, and we pride ourselves in being able to provide alternative healthy options. We are a uh, protein cafe shop, and so everything that we serve here either is protein based or it has something with energy. And we know we all need something with energy, and we all need something that can fill us up, and that's what we provide, healthy options for the community.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. The reason why we're here is because we're documenting Kayla's legacy, Kayla's story, and we're actually putting together a series of videos and documenting how our family is overcoming the physical loss of Kayla, 25-year-old college student at USF, ASL, and interpreter. She was her last semester, and what's transpired through it. So we decided that we were going to tell her story, and this is the content for today. Obviously, we have an opportunity to now talk about it. What was going on during that time? We used to have very frequent updates about what her condition was. In this case, this was the week of October 7th. And, it has been nearly 2 months since Kayla fell ill to a vicious virus. And through her state, she has not changed at the ICU because of her medical condition is very delicate. We're confident that internally her lungs will have shown some evidence of healing. You can stop the video. You can read the post that we put together. What I want to do is I want to talk about, in particular, what was going on with us, what was going on with Kayla, and then maybe have Eddie, Kayla's uncle, one of Kayla's uncles, maybe share a little bit of, how he viewed this. But Eddie, if you remember, it was during this time that I could not go into her hospital room. I developed a tremendous fear, and ultimately it was a debilitating stress, anxiety going into the room to seeing her with all those machines tied around her. And I literally, physically could not go in there. So for about a period of 30 days, I did what only I could do, which was we prayed, and we prayed constantly. We continually prayed, with the family, with the network of people that we know, and the church. And so this is kind of where I want to see if you can, from your recollection, what was it like for you to go through this? Because what I do know is that the trauma that we experienced, the family felt it. And we've never really openly talked about it, but this is an opportunity for us to not only showcase what was going on, but also talk about when people go through these kinds of situations, how we get around it. So any thoughts about what you were going through from your perspective during this time?
Um, well, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share because, you know, I think it's in sharing that you can look back and just look at how strong the family has been. Um, Difficulties sometimes brings the best out of people. And I think that in our case, in our family, um, we've always been very close. And actually, I would have to say that you and I, growing up, we've always been really close. So anything that happened to you, it was like I felt the pain, like if I was right there. And even though we were, a distance away,
Mhm.
just hearing your report, hearing how the rest of the family, was feeling, it really did put us in your shoes,
Mhm.
to the point that, your struggle was our struggle, your pain was our pain. And I think that, when we look back, I think that that was the strength that we could pull on each other. Sometimes there were some people in our family that were stronger than others.
Mhm.
Some people were just, not being able to handle certain reports.
Mhm.
And then on the same call, we will have somebody else who will provide a word of encouragement or provide, something relatable to the topic. And I think that that's what the real community and the real family bond is so important because I don't know, I cannot tell you in particular something that I probably said on a call, but it would be a matter of days where you just tell me, hey, remember when you told me, it was just what I needed to hear. And so, thinking back of this time when Kayla was you know back in October 7th, you know our hopes were still high. you know Everybody kept believing, and I think that at certain point, Minor, I think the family was just really like what you wanted, what you needed. That's what we were, heading. And I remember that you and Nivea made the decision that you would believe until the very end.
Mhm.
And that's what we did. We all came together and just what our faith teaches us that with one that is in, with two that are in agreement, you can cause things to happen. And I believe that that's was one of the things that we experienced as a family was that we came in agreement, and there was no questioning, there was no rationalizing, there was no analyzing any situation. And that's what faith really is. Faith is just coming in agreement for that person and for that particular purpose.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and it's really just wonderful for you to express yourself, because a lot of times people don't have the visibility. People saw what was going on, but they never had an opportunity to speak with us, and now we're doing these interviews, and it, there's two things that stand out to me the most. This was the most aggressive rescue mission the family has ever endured. It was we put it all out there, right? So, from a grieving standpoint, I didn't have time to grieve. We were in action mode. We were activated, right? Our faith was activated. That was what was so interesting about going through this. But there are usually two types of reactions people have. They either step back and kind of like crumble and fall apart internally and maybe never express themselves. What we were doing is we were moving towards faith. We moved everyone towards faith, and everybody's faith increased during this time. Now I listen, I know, I appreciate you being there available while you're running your business, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to talk about one thing. So tell everyone, this tells everyone pretty much like your relationship with all of your nieces and your nephews. You have a wonderful relationship with all of them, but
Yeah.
you did something very, very cute, very particular for Kayla during this time, and you called it, well, what did you call it? And tell everybody what it was, and then we'll finish with that.
Oh man, that's great. I didn't even think about sharing that, but you know Kayla nickname, which is what mine or Nivea and the whole family called it, was Kika. So we knew that her favorite color was purple. And because of our business, we were able to, come up with a lot of crazy different things, whatever we want to create. So we did. We created a tea. It was the mega tea. Then we named it Kika Butt. So she was Kika and she was kicking butt, right? And I thought if Kayla could respond to this, I'm sure she'll be like giggling, like, haha, that's really cool that, uncle. Or actually, she used to call me, excuse me, she actually used to call me Uncle Booga. So I could almost hear her saying, "Oh, Uncle Booga, that is so cool."
Yeah.
And the purpose of that was that actually was the weekend when she was going to be transported from Florida to Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And so we used that weekend of Labor Day to invite all of our customers here, whoever wanted to participate, and we had a great turnout. And we did it actually for the rest of the month of September because it was such a popular drink. Everybody loved it and loved the color, and they loved the cost. So, when you talk about family coming together, Minor, one thing that we've always said about our business, any customer that comes here, they are automatically family to us. So we call them On Point family.
Yeah.
So for everybody, the extended families, including the business, to come together and for a good cause, it was great to be able to show that unity, with our customers, and then coming around and supporting us. So the support really went really far and wide, and I know that we were on calls where people were connected from literally around the world, praying and believing for Kayla. So that was just one way that our business was able to be involved and show our support.
Well, you definitely the families is a beautiful design, that God has created. But it was in the testing of our faith that where the family stands. And the Ramos family, and I always talk, the Ramos family extends to many, many different versions of it. So the Valentin or the Venturas, the Valentines, the Velasquez, and then of course, and everybody that, because it was an enormous amount of people. So before we go, I just want to leave this with a positive message. We're able to talk about this today because of the faith that we have in an eternal God. There is hope, and there is hope of glory. And I know this, to some people, that they may not know what that means. We invite you to look into that. What does hoping with glory mean versus, again, going back and just getting stuck. I mean, not because of your choice, because you just don't know how to. But that's what faith does. It's kind of crazy. It's blind, like you're looking into something that isn't, you can't see it, but you feel it, right? And so the hope is that as we go through this and we continue to document her journey, that people will find hope in our message and in her story and in her legacy. And so I'm going to put a description of the business, Eddie and Joanna's business. We're gonna list also a song. Lately, what I've been doing is I recognize that what got me through a lot of this was finding inspirational songs that talk to my soul, not so much to my physical, because the physical was hurting. It was going through trauma. So the only thing that could keep me going was to feed my soul, right? And then the spirit is what responded to that calling, which was me pleading for help, and the spirit would then respond. Eddie, you and I can go on for days on this.
Yeah.
I know we can, but listen, I want to thank you for taking some time from your business to go through this with us. I'll be sharing some information with the rest of our audience. So thank you again. I'm sure we'll probably have to do it again.
It was a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to talk about the little princess, Kayla.
Love you, man. All
Love
right.
you.
Take
All
care.
right.
All right.
Bye-bye.